Well, happy Monday, everybody. Joe, welcome. Happy Monday, bro. Yeah, I think you're going to tell me and everybody else that you've had a busy weekend, I'm going to guess.
Yes, busy weekend, especially last night too. OMG.
Yeah, I figured it had to be a hell of a night. I woke up this morning, early, mind you, but woke up this morning to a message from you saying, "Oh, I got to update my group," and da da da. And I was just like, man, I didn't want to look, but then I looked at the price and it was like 122K at that point, and I was like, okay, then I guess I should get up and get going.
Yeah, and it still kept moving. So I think I did like another update like at 7 in the morning, and then I didn't make a video though. But yeah, it's just been busy. So yeah.
Can I just say I watched your country video. Oh my God, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, K Diggity, he gave me the words and everything. He's like, make it country. So all right. So I do take requests. There
it is. And I'll tell you what, BC, I don't know if BC's chimed in here yet, but he definitely needs to give that a listen, let me tell you. Hey, everybody, we'll reach out here and see who's in the chat. Say hey. Matter of fact, let me turn that on there so people can, comments can start showing up on the screen. Dylan in the house, as always. Dylan, appreciate you. You'll get an email probably tomorrow from me with an update on that, so sit tight. Kevin in the house, appreciate you, Kevin. How's it going today? And Automatic Beats. There it is, Automatic Beats. Appreciate everybody for being here. So we got a lot to talk about. Hopefully I don't freeze up too much, because ain't no guarantees that I don't get rugged by my own internet. That's just how it is. And so let's kick it off. Talk a little bit of Bitcoin. We're going to let Joe do the charts. Going to look at the fear and greed, the debt, and then we got a bunch of other stuff, some circle stuff, some gold related stuff, which I want to talk about, because big news in the gold as legal tender front at the end of last week. But let's kick it off. Let's start with this. Michael Saylor is at it again. There you go. Buying some more Bitcoin on an all-time high. And what might be 122K Bitcoin, and alls don't care. Facts, man, facts. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Piper ran a poll. If anybody's coming over Piper's stream, he ran a poll basically saying, hey, what do you think about alt season? And it was kind of pretty evenly split, with a little bit more to the upside of like, yeah, man, there's going to be an alt season. I don't know. I'm still, I guess, skeptical is the word I've got for that. Mike is in the house. Appreciate you being here, Mike. Thank you very much. What do you think, Joe? You and changing your mind now that we got a little bit of Bitcoin action going on? You thinking maybe, or what?
No. Yeah. I mean, you can kind of see it too with Bitcoin going up all-time high, and these coins are barely moving, like slowly. Then they'll retrace a little bit, then they'll go up some more. So, like, if you look at it over the past 2 days, yeah, they've gone up, but we're used to seeing what they've done in 2 days in like 2 hours normally. So,
exactly right. Oh, Alexandra G is in the house. If you are a channel member, Mod Queen emojis in the chat. Alexandra G, you are awesome. You really are. Appreciate you so much. You have no idea. Thank you very much. Okay, now the next thing I have, I mean, we've had watched some stuff from Anthony Pompliano on this channel before, and Piper is in the house. Army Piper, thank you, and thank you for sending everybody over. Much appreciated. Thank you. And so I want to give this a listen. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. The whole thing's almost 6 minutes long, but he does talk about this price action that we're currently seeing over this weekend with regard to Bitcoin. And I think it might be a good lead in to Joe looking at the charts. So I'm going to play about 3 minutes of this, and then we'll talk for a second, and then we'll let Joe take over the show. All right, Joe, here we go. Let's give Anthony a listen on the Squawk Box this morning.
High above $123,000 doing this right now on the move, and what it means. Anthony Pompliano is here as the founder and CEO of Professional Capital Management. Good morning to you. I guess, as Joe said, if you're going to get to 250,000 or 500,000, you got to cross 123 at some point. But what do you think is happening? What's driving it right this moment?
First of all, welcome to the greatest show on Wall Street. I think that Wall Street's full undivided attention now is on Bitcoin. And really, there's three things that drove this move. The first is that there's been record inflows into the ETFs. So last Thursday, 1.2 billion, second highest day. Those ETFs now collectively have over 140 billion. BlackRock's fund is now almost $90 billion in about a year. They went from not having a Bitcoin ETF to now they have a top 20 largest ETF in the world. So there's a lot of inflows there. Second thing is the options expired at the end of Q2. And so all that downward pressure on Bitcoin obviously goes away. That helps kind of like a beach ball getting put underneath the water, right? Obviously it can pop back up. And then the third thing is that there was a lot of short sellers. You started to see that build up. And as they got blown out, as Bitcoin ran, you get into this price discovery phase. If you go back to November, we went from 70,000 to 90,000 in about 2 to 3 weeks. And 70,000 was a new all-time high. What we're watching now is we broke through that $110,000 range. That was the previous all-time high. I don't know if it goes to 140, but it sure is going to make a big move here because you are in a true price discovery phase.
And how much of this do you think at this point then gets driven by ETFs, or do you think it's really more going to be individuals buying the underlying asset?
Well, the reason why I call it the greatest show on Wall Street is everyone wants Bitcoin. Like, this is no longer a contrarian trade. This is a consensus trade now. And so you have the ETFs, you have the Bitcoin Treasury companies, you have retail, you have sovereign wealth fund. Everybody wants Bitcoin.
Should we be scared of that? Meaning, we were talking about just economists and analysts. We're like, when the economists have a consensus view, you usually should go the other direction.
Yeah, well, the economists still don't like Bitcoin, so I think we're okay. But if you take a look at, the S&P, everyone wants the S&P, right? And so what you want is persistent kind of price insensitive buyers. And that's finally what Bitcoin has. And it's not just coming from retail investors, it's also coming from these institutions. And I think that'll continue to drive the price.
Doesn't matter what Congress does anymore.
All right, we're gonna end it there. I mean, we've seen major inflows. As a matter of fact, I think it was Billy Goat Tales. They were talking about it last night. Some of the ETF inflows and how that's affecting the price action and so on and so forth. And he hits that as well as a bunch of other stuff. Matter of fact, I didn't get that link. As Joe takes over the show, I'll put the link to that in the live chat because I didn't get a chance to put that into the description. So, but Joe, any thoughts, any additions you want to put on that before you get into your charts?
Yeah, I just think that it's really funny. It's like, no, they don't like Bitcoin, but they will though. They will. Exactly. Because it's very hard to not like Bitcoin when like the writing's on the wall. And it's clear as day. It's not in cursive. Some people can't read cursive, but it's clear as day. And like everybody's going to go. I mean, the banks have been going with Bitcoin. So, and the banks are, it's kind of like oil and water. They don't mix. And here we are. Banks are dealing with Bitcoin. So.
And I'm sorry, because of what you said, that's why I was laughing. I just put the Shuby bucket in the chat because Shuby talks in cursive. So
yes. Yes, he does. And sometimes in italic cursive. It's like, what? So, yeah.
It's so true. All right, brother. If you're ready, actually, you know what? Maybe we should look at the fear and greed real quick, and then we'll let you take it over. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
All right. Almost forgot about that, to be completely honest. Again, this one I'm using here resets in about 8 hours. But right here, we're looking at greed. I'm quite honestly surprised, I'm not gonna lie, that this isn't higher. I expect that maybe when it resets it might go higher because with all this price action going and people just all over it, I don't know, I would suspect it would be higher. Anything you agree, or do you think I'm off base?
I completely agree. When I saw that, because all-time high, and now granted, of course, it is a few hours behind, but because of all-time high, we've been doing all-time highs. Like, you would just think that it'd be, like high, much higher, like at least 10 points higher than what it is right now.
Right.
And then after that, we made another all-time high, then another all-time, just as the hours go on, we just keep on making more all-time highs.
Yeah, it's just one after another after exactly. And that's why
Right.
for me, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Again, this one resets in a little bit, and I'm guessing it's going up. I'm guessing it's going up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Joe, you are the man, the myth, the legend. Take it over, brother.
Awesome. All right, so here we go. We are looking at Bitcoin, and you got my chart up, right?
Yep. Can you?
Right.
Yep.
So we're looking at Bitcoin. Well, let me kind of zoom out first. So these levels right here are very important. This is from the first cycle to the second cycle, and this is creating a zone. I have it from the kind of wick to the kind of wick, kind of body to the kind of body. Go over this a bunch on my channel. But once we broke above this, I am happy and I am bullish for the market in general. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to lose this level. So I already have an alert down here. This is according to Binance. The level I'm looking at is 113.174. If we break below this, watch out, because this could potentially be the all-time high and we start maybe going lower. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No. But this is you always have to have the plan A, plan B. Now, This could also be just a bull trap to where the price comes down, plays here for a little bit, and then goes up again, creating a second high or a higher high. And then, of course, now that's the top, and then we start coming down. So we always have to be looking at these key levels. But one thing that I am looking at, for me personally, when I saw the price come up here to the higher band, if you want to call it a band or a range, one thing that I was looking at was a potential retrace, and having a retrace is fine. It's healthy. I would really like to see it come down to here, at least the midway point, find support, and then continue up. But I do have it on the 15-minute time frame because I ended up going on a short. I let my group know. I think I updated them like at 4 in the morning in reference to this because, again, I'm getting alerts going off. And I know for a fact, well, I think I know that a lot of people were getting wrecked on the shorts. Once it came up here, did this high and started coming down, breaking these levels, I'm pretty sure they went short and then they got wrecked. They probably put their stop loss here. Stop loss got hit, started coming down, broke this level. They probably shorted again, probably put a stop loss up here, depending on how tight or how much leverage they have. Probably got stopped out again. And then it came up to my level. Again, this is a key level. This is extremely important to understand these key levels. Then went up to here, and they may have done another short. I didn't. And maybe got stop loss here. And the reason for the tight stop loss is because it can go up, and because there's FOMO, it can go up another 8, 12, 15%. So we never know. And people who are going short, what you need to do is you need to have that risk management. If you don't have that risk management, just be prepared to lose whatever you're putting in. So that's really important.
Right.
Now, for me personally, I was entering on the 3-minute time frame. Once it broke this level, this is where I entered for a short. And, we came up here. I'm expecting it to come up to at least here, then break back down. Once it broke this level, sign of relief, because, again, FOMO, it could just go up. Then it broke this level, breathed another sign of relief. I had one of the viewers asking me in the DMs, what do I think is going to happen right now? I said, well, and the price was, I believe, right here or right here. And I'm saying the price, or maybe here, the price may come up to this zone. This didn't happen yet. May come up to this zone. This is the zone that I'm looking at. And for this, I was actually looking at the 15-minute time frame. And we can see, candle bodies right here. But I'm looking at potentially coming up to here. So I'm saying up and then maybe getting rejected. I don't know, but maybe getting rejected. The only reason I'm thinking rejection is because, well, we've gone up. We've done nothing but go up. Doesn't mean that we have to go down. It'd just be healthy if we did. Right. And sure enough, it did go up. And then now starting to come down, breaking these levels. I'm looking for a potential bounce right now if it's going to bounce. I'm looking for a potential bounce right in here in this zone. and I'm looking for it to possibly come a little bit lower to maybe like 120.3 before potentially going up. And then now we just need to see if it's making higher highs or if it continues making lower highs and lower lows. But for right now, in my opinion, I do think Bitcoin, I would like to see Bitcoin come down a little bit more before potentially going up. Now, I really don't care what it does in here, because if it does pull back, maybe even to this zone, like there's all these levels that we have for potential bounces. We have this range that we could potentially bounce from. We have this bounce zone, which is pretty much from the 0.5 to the 382, kind of in this general area where there's a really nice gap. We could have a bounce here. The main thing that we do not want is the break of this. We don't want the break of this. We get the break of this, more than likely there's going to be a lot of panic selling. And then the alts. Now, here's the thing too. Now, we're going to cover more of this on my channel. But here's the thing too. With the alts, if you're in profit, take profit.
Yes.
If you have your stop loss, try your absolute best to move it as close to break even, if not a little bit more, so that you can cover the fees. But it's extremely important because it's not profit until it's sold. You know, you could be up 40%, but if you don't sell it because you're waiting for 90, and then now your stop loss gets hit at negative 10 or 20, well, you didn't make that 40%. You actually lost 20%. So just please, guys, take your profit, manage your risk. I go over this a whole bunch on my channel, so definitely check that out. But here, you know, we've already retraced nicely, in my opinion. Maybe we get a bounce here. You know, the biggest thing now, if we break above this, man, because what I wasn't expecting this to happen in the very short time that it did. I was expecting, and again, nobody knows what's going to happen, but November 2025 for us to reach around 127-ish, 126, because we would probably be about here. But yeah, 127. And just go in this range. As long as we stay in this range, we're good. If we break below our goal, get back in the range. That way we can have all these all-time highs. Do I think we're going to get 220? I doubt it. It would be nice. But again, for the alts, what I'm very interested in seeing, and I mentioned this a few times to my group, I'm very interested to see the pullback that we have when on the alts, when Bitcoin finally pulls back. Are we going to pull back as hard as we've been pulling back? Or are we going to, let's say Bitcoin pulls back 5%. Are the alts going to pull back 30, 40%? Or because Bitcoin pulled back 5%, are the alts going to pull back only 15, 20%? If they only pull back that much, that means the alts are still very strong, and we have a great opportunity to potentially catch that wave for the next rise up. If it does pull back 30, 40%, that means the alts are still weak. So just be careful.
Yeah. And Andy, welcome, by the way. And yeah, she's pretty much hitting it on the head right here. It never does what you think it's going to do at the end of the day. It really doesn't, man. It really doesn't. Anything else you want to throw out there, Joe? I'm with you, man. Everything you just said, I'm with you.
Yes, definitely. I do want to point out that so I asked the question because what I like doing is I love watching other people, and I posted this question for just his audience, and I said, you know, basically that same thing. If, or rather, when Bitcoin pulls back, do you think the alts are going to pull back as hard as they've been doing, or are they going to pull back less? And the reason I'm trying to get that kind of gauge is because if they don't pull back as much as they've been doing the past several months, then that shows that the strength is in the alts. You know, the money's in the alts. You know, yes, we get some people that, you know, sell or what have you, but the majority of people are buying in at a lower price, so they're keeping that money in the alts. So it's making it stronger. So that was the kind of gauge I'm looking for. And then somebody made the comment, and I'm gonna go over this on my channel as well. somebody made the comment, well, just look at Bitcoin dominance.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing, though. Bitcoin dominance is a gauge of the market, of course, the dominance that Bitcoin has over the entire market. And it's like a cause and effect. It's the result that you see on Bitcoin dominance is the effect of what the market is doing. So for my question that I posed, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think they're also going to pull back more or not as much? And to give the answer of, well, look at Bitcoin dominance, but Bitcoin dominance is only showing me what's already happening versus what I think might happen. So I'm not sure if all that made sense, but it's the result of what the alts are doing. I want to know what their thought process was in reference to what do you think the alts will do versus showing the result of the pullback. Hopefully all that made sense. Hopefully I got that clear. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if people have further questions, we're going to be going to your channel as soon as we're done here, and they can ask because you love questions. Let's just be honest. So, so let's see. Danny is in the house. Danny, appreciate you being here. Thank you. And of course, all set here for the financial advice. There it is. And there it is. That's
so let me know, guys. Let me know if that made sense. If not, I have to work on rewording it. But let me know if that made sense. Let me know in the chat.
Yes, please. Go ahead and throw it in there. Let's see. Buck is in the house. BC Pork Corp in the house. All right, everybody's jumping in here. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Harp, if you were here, I think Harp might have been here and I missed it, but appreciate you being here, Harp. And all right. So what are we doing from here? We're going to go take a quick look at where our debt is right now, as in comparison to when Joe and I were live last week. We here. All right, Army Piper. Yes, we here. I like it. And then we're going to go and take a look at some Cardano news. We're going to take a look at a little bit of news about Circle. We're going to talk about all the information coming out with regard to crypto legislation, taxes, all that kind of good stuff. And of course, like I said, big gold news happening in the end of last week. We're going to take a look at that. Daniel Diaz was like blowing up my my phone, sending me all this stuff. So we're going to take a look at some of that. All right. So let's start with this. Here we are. When we were live last week, we were at $37.73 trillion. And again, this was right around when Trump signed the big, beautiful bill into law, which will increase our debt. But let's not get me going about that. Anyway, and Doge was at 546 billion, and I was honestly quite surprised that it was still clipping along there, given what was going on with no Doge. And here we are live as to what is live and ticking right now. 37,102 billion. So what is that? That's about 30. So about the same, still in that 29 to 30 $billion category, and then 555 billion in savings on Doge. And again, given that they're really not doing a whole crap ton with Doge, I'm kind of surprised that it's still going. Joe, anything you want to chime in on with regard to the debt or the Doge?
Yeah. Thanks to Daniel. I know more about as far as the debt and everything and money, and the more I think about it, the I just wish it was back in the olden days with bartering, but yeah, it's just gonna keep on going up. I'm really happy for Doge and what Doge has done.
Yeah,
but it's just gonna continue to go up until we find a new monetary system.
Yep. It's funny that you bring up that part. I mean, there you go. That's a literal episode 4 of the Hidden Secrets of Money right there, I actually took almost 10 minutes, and that was cutting it back to my video that I dropped on Saturday for seniors, because I wanted to make sure that they, get the idea of, hey, listen, you're living in a Ponzi scheme. But I mean, because they've seen the gold standard, but yet, I would have thought there'd been more pushback, I guess, as we've kind of really just, gone down the proverbial rabbit hole with regard to the monetary system. So I wanted to point that out. I gave my 2 cents, gave some stuff for them to talk about, obviously all the links. If you are not a senior, I think you could still get some good information out of that. So make sure that you check that out. I try to put one out every Saturday for seniors. So if you are 55 plus or otherwise generationally challenged, there it is. Right. The fingers are pointing back at this guy right here, at this guy. Anyway, so let's clip on to the next piece of information, and that is about Circle. And I love the fact that, if anybody, I'm going to assume most people here are familiar with Jack Ma, and oh my God, I just lost the name of his
other person.
My God, somebody correct. What is he running? I'm having a brain fart right now. It just, senior moment. Told you, senior guy here. Anyway, but his whole group here, as it says, is going to be integrating Circle's USDC as part of their global payment platform. And I think that's huge news. Circle is getting all kinds of adoption. Matter of fact, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Circle tonight on Hot of the Line with myself and BC Pork Corp and Crypto Bedell. So make sure that you are here at 7 p.m. Eastern time for that. But again, just more and more and more with regard to USDC and his, this group right here, huge. In the way of online presence. So it's I think this is big news, bottom line. But we're going to keep going here because I know we got a bunch of Cardano fans in the house. Feel free to put a little bit of ADA in the chat, hashtag ADA. Minturn put this out right here. Breaking news, Midnight releases the most private payment card. And they talk about they're exploring a Midnight powered, because if you remember, Midnight is, matter of fact, I think tomorrow night, Crow is going to be on Billy Goat Tales X Space talking about this Midnight airdrop and stuff. But anyway, the Midnight powered payment card with no visible name and card number, and it works anywhere major credit cards are accepted. And just to watch it right here, you can see the actual testing of that. There it is. Boom. Quick, simple. And again, I know this isn't the only payment card that's out there and on the market. But for Cardano fans, there you go. Here it is. You get and Midnight, hopefully will help to increase privacy for those of us that are concerned about that stuff. And quite frankly, you probably should be concerned about that. I'm just saying, call me crazy. Yeah. But I was asking Joe if maybe we could take a quick look at Cardano. Joe, I don't know if you remembered that or not. Did you? Are you ready for that by any chance?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Given this information, so we're gonna throw it back over to Joe for a minute, and we'll take a quick look at that. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. All right. So for Cardano, we're looking at this on my channel. We had this as our alerts. Once the alert went off, make sure the 4-hour candle breaks above this level and maintains above it. If so, we enter the trade. If you were watching my channel, then you would be in the trade and you would be up pretty nicely. Now we are having a slight pullback. Let's see here. What else can we say about this? Let's go to a bigger time frame. Let's go to the 4-hour. The daily. On the daily is looking pretty nice as well. So let me go ahead and hide all this stuff really quick. There we go. All right, so we have this really nice rounded bottom, or you can call this a cup. Normally, the cup and handles are like this, cup and handle. Some people may say this is a left-handed cup and handle, but no. Just look at the resistance. That's what I look at. So right now it is above resistance, and we do have this right here where it did break above. I do like it. Because it went straight up, I would like to see a retracement, and what I would like to see is either it go up a little bit more, go lower than this, so maybe about 0.7952, come down to about here, and now make it smooth. This is what I would like to see. It doesn't mean that this is going to happen. We may have a pullback in the market, so we may, instead of going up, just come down, just depending on Bitcoin and what the alts do as a result to Bitcoin. But all in all, once we break above this pretty much key level of 0.8396, we should be good. You know, that now the market hopefully will be turning and hopefully going up. What's the difference between the price range from here to here? Roughly about 15%. So if you were to enter now, with the market being the way it is, if it continues, you could have 15% more gains than somebody who has an alert up here, which for me personally, it's just safer. You know, you can have an alert up here at 0.8894 and set your alert. And then once your alert goes off, then just make sure that you're above this level on, like, I would say like a 4-hour time frame. But right now it looks strong. To me, it looks very strong. I would like to see a pullback though. Because what I don't like to see is I don't like to see this, because then this follows. I don't like to see all this, because that retracement is doing a follow. And here it took some back, then took some more back, and then just kind of went sideways. Yep. So I like seeing it go up, pull back, go up, pull back, higher highs, higher lows.
Yep.
That's all I like. But I like it. It looks bullish.
That may be
say that again.
I froze up. Again, rugged by my internet, guys. No guarantees here, but basically, I was just saying thank you for going over it. I figured, you know, with the midnight news, the airdrops, and it's getting a lot of push out there for the ADA gang, as we saw Mike put in the chat, for you know, seeing some price action with ADA. And I'm with you. I don't know. I've been a little less bullish on ADA. Doesn't mean I don't like ADA by any means. I still holding it, still staking it, you know, but the buying more, getting bullish on it, that kind of thing, not so much. But hey, that's just one guy's opinion, right? And old guy nonetheless. So what do I know? I have senior moments every moment. So anywho, all right. So let's keep going. We're going to be, again, we're going to Joe's stream right after this. So stay tuned for that. About 25 minutes, we're going to be heading over there. You can ask him all kinds of stuff with regard to charts and other things, because Lord knows this man does enjoy answering questions. So
yes, I love it.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to talk a little bit more right now about KuCoin. We're going to talk about taxes, the legislation that's coming up, and one Bitcoin miner who basically took their whole treasury and transferred it from BTC to ETH, of all things. And we know that BC Pork Corp is in the chat right now, and he loves him some ETH. He was talking all about it this morning, loving the ETH. Just saying. All right. Now that I got BC riled up, let's keep going. Oh man. All right. So right here, KuCoin passes proof of reserves, proving they own 100%, and he puts Bitcoin again. This is the Bitcoin historian. This is the guy that was behind Janet Yellen. Remember, with "Buy Bitcoin," the sign. This is this guy. So obviously he's a Bitcoin maxi, which whatever. But obviously they didn't just tap into Bitcoin reserves. So the fact that they're passing they are, one, doing it, and two, passing their audit, that's huge. Again, for centralized exchanges, it's a necessity, in my opinion, in this day and age, to prove that you have these reserves, because there can be so much. And there's been rumors how many times throughout the years, Joe, of like people just printing up USDT to move the market and this and that. And so to have the actual proof of reserves, to me, is an actual huge plus. I'd love to see all the centralized crypto exchanges do it. Anything you want to add to that? I mean,
yeah, we've seen exchanges go down because of that, where it's like, well, show us your proof of reserves. And they're like, well, we kind of fudge the numbers a little bit. We kind of borrow from this to pay this. It's like, no, that's not how it goes. Yep. And then, of course, that causes the market. Everybody freaks out. Everybody panics. And there's your bear market again.
Let's see what I want to see what BC was saying, because I kind of was trying to get him going there. BCC Trust says that might not have been a bad move, but BC says that, yeah, a dumb move. Exactly. See? All right. See, that was a measured response from BC. I was kind of expecting a little more, but yeah, chart wise, I agree. ETH has been kind of moving a little bit, I think, and in good price action right now. Again, still, I got mixed feelings about ETH. I think it could be huge with regard to DeFi. I mean, it is the biggest, where DeFi is located right now, regardless of all the building going on all these other chains. But for those who have been on this channel, I'm not a fan since they went from proof of work to proof of stake. I'm just not. It is what it is. And the fact that some of these proof of stake nodes are going to follow OFAC regs, I'm sorry. Just, yeah, not a fan. Anyway, before I get too far off the proverbial track here, let's go to this and talk about, now, if you remember, toward the end of last year, around, I think they dropped this end of November, beginning of December, something like that. And we had 2 weeks to get all your stuff in order, because you had to have these reporting regulations, and you had to have the wallets all squared away. You had to be good with every single wallet, and and you would need to be issued form 1099 DA, yada yada yada. Thank God that got pushed back, first off. And then now here we are. Basically, US Treasury has removed that reporting requirement. So thank God common sense, to some degree, has prevailed with regard to that. Because I'll tell you what, one, that would have been a cluster for those of us here in the United States. It just really would. And then the fact that, hello, the way it's being done is like, I don't know, difficult enough now, where you're pulling, crypto out of different wallets, yada yada, and then you're gonna go and have to be like, nope, this one only, and FIFO this, and I don't. I'm glad to see this gone, is the bottom line. I'm gonna assume that Joe agrees with me.
Oh yeah.
It was so confusing. I mean, and thank you to Piper, by the way. I'm hoping he's still in the chat here. He brought on oh my God, I forgot their name, to talk about that and talk about the potential ramifications of that 1099 DA toward the 15th of December, which was like the deadline for making sure you had filed what you needed to file and all this other stuff. So thank you to him for doing that. But now, guess what? No more of that. And we got more good crypto legislation. Well, okay. I say that in my air quotes, I guess. But at least a lot of crypto legislation coming this week out of Congress, or in Congress, I guess. So right here, the 14th through the 18th, we've got the Genius Act, which is stable coins. And again, I've put out my thoughts with regard to the Genius Act. I am not a fan of the way certain things are written right now with regard to that. An CBDC surveillance, and again, the way that in my opinion, the way that the Genius Act is written, they'll just there you go, boom, CBDC happening right there in the form of a stable coin. But let's not get me going. And then the Clarity Act with regard to a kind of framework for cryptos here in the United States. Again, as much as I'd love to see the whole like cypherpunk, don't tread on me kind of thing here in the space. Unfortunately, I think that ship has kind of sailed to some degree. I mean, yeah, I guess you could still do that to a little bit if you're kind of off on your own little island there. But if you want to have more adoption, more legitimacy with regard to stuff like Wall Street and that kind of thing, we need it. We need it.
100%.
Yeah. Again, hate to admit it, hate to put it out there, but those are the facts, man. Those are the facts. All right, let's get over to Bit Digital here, who was the Bitcoin miner who sold. Oops, I thought I had it queued up right there. I apologize. Their shares or their treasury basically over to ETH. We're going to listen to him because they interview him about it, and we'll listen to the beginning of this. It's we're going to listen to like maybe 2-3 minutes where he explains the thought process with regard to that. So I'll be interested to see what everybody decrypted tax. Thank you, BC Port Corp. See, yes, that's who Piper had on with regard to that decrypted tax. Thank you, sir. Man, I don't know. It's a good thing that people got my back. And all over the place too, because it's like I need the help, obviously. Again, senior guy. All right, here we go. Let's give this guy a quick listen, and we'll jump it back on it at that point. Oh, there it goes.
Bit Digital recently exited Bitcoin mining to focus solely on its ETH treasury and staking plans, and now your company is announcing that it completed its transition to an Ethereum treasury strategy. So now Bit Digital shifted its entire treasury to Ethereum, becoming one of the largest ETH holders among public companies. Can you take us through what was behind the move?
Look, coming from an institutional background, I've been in this space for many years, and I feel like many investors felt like they missed on the Bitcoin wave. Ethereum represents that next wave. And, we're not just buying a coin, we're putting our reserves into a protocol that powers trillions of on-chain activity. We believe Ethereum is becoming a new category for as a strategic corporate asset, like gold and treasury bonds once were, but with one difference. Ethereum is alive. It moves with technological innovation. It has tens of thousands of developers on chain, more than any other blockchain, including Bitcoin or Solana. And also, Ethereum captures real activity, real economic activity. As stable coin volumes grows, as tokenization becomes a thing, the fees generated by that activity flow back to ETH holders. And Bitcoin does not participate in that feedback loop, in that value loop. We believe Ethereum is where economic throughput is frankly heading.
Now, Bit Digital raised about $172 million and is using that capital to buy ETH. The company also sold more than 417 Bitcoin, which was the firm's entire remaining Bitcoin position, and used the proceeds to buy more ETH. So where does the company stand now in terms of your ETH holdings, and will that capital be used for anything else? What are your plans?
That's right. We sold a profitable business. We exited a profitable business, Bitcoin mining, and we took the cash on our balance sheet and we sold all our Bitcoin, and we did this raise. Actually personally participated in that raise myself with my own savings, and we poured that all into Ethereum. We now have 100,000 Ethereum we have accumulated about 100,000 on our balance sheet, and we're just getting started. That's just the start. We're just getting warmed up.
All right. You guys get the point. We'll just pull that out of here for the moment. And I don't know. I kind of...
Oh, you froze up a little bit. So...
like the maxis out there.
All right, go ahead. Say it again.
Did I freeze up again? I'm so sorry. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you trying to bail me out.
Yeah, you're good.
Like I said, the internet's gonna rug me as soon as Joe leaves, just so you know. But don't worry, I promise after it rugs me, I will make sure that you make it over to his stream. So sit tight. We're going over to his stream in about 15 minutes. Basically, what I was saying was I would kind of expected a little more trash talking about this from Bitcoin maxis, being like, what the hell are you thinking, dude? But we, or at least I haven't heard it. Have you heard any kind of like
No,
blowback?
I haven't heard anything. But one thing, and I say this just in the workplace, you cannot make yourself look good when you put down others. You can't do it. Well, look at us. Look at Ethereum. We have this and this, and Bitcoin doesn't. And we're doing this and this, and Bitcoin. No. Just say what you are doing, and then that's it. But they're trying to put down Bitcoin and trying to say this is the new wave. And, I'm going to be like Michael Saylor because he did it. And now I'm going to do it with Ethereum. And we're going to just keep on buying and buying Ethereum. And you see how successful Saylor is. Well, that's going to be us. So jump on board, get this next wave. But everybody is adopting Bitcoin. Everybody.
Right.
And why? And I'm just thinking out loud, like, why, if something is like the wheel, it's turning. Why would I want to try your square to do what the wheel is doing? I'm going to go with Bitcoin, and I might put some in Ethereum, but I mean, it's proven already. It's safer if I'm a more degenerate or what have you. Then I can go to Ethereum, Sui, any of these other chains or cryptos. But I don't know. The dude rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not even a maxi either. He just rubbed me the wrong way.
I'm not even a maxi. There you go. Oh man, I get it. No, I listen. I don't disagree that like DeFi is the next wave per se,
Right.
but I don't know that I would go and like abandon Bitcoin in lieu of Ethereum on 100% basis like that. But in fairness, we've heard this a lot lately, though, Joe. Right? I mean, we've heard the Trump's Liberty Financial doing this, and there was one other one which the name eludes me at the moment. That we've seen going into this whole Ethereum Treasury kind of thing, and I've come to the realization that you probably should hold a little bit of Ethereum.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, you probably
Mainly-
should. I don't like
Bitcoin.
it, but I gotta hold a little
Because
bit.
Ethereum is going to do stuff. Ethereum is going to continue doing what it's doing. Developers are going to continue to use Ethereum. Ethereum is established.
Yes.
So.
And I love it. The wave. Yes. I'm going to put some waves in the chat for you, the LBC. Appreciate you being here, by the way. If you're still hanging out in the chat, put in the waves for LBC. Appreciate that. There we go. Waves. Boom. So let's see. There was something else I wanted to point out. And it just, again, oh, yeah, the poll. That's what it was. I closed out the poll. See? Oh, my God. And I ain't been drinking, folks. That's all I'm going to say. I really haven't been drinking. I swear to God. Well, coffee. And in my swag mug, there we go.
That's a nice mug, man.
It is.
Show it. Show it one more time.
Well, Joe, yep. Listen, someone else won this mug, not last Friday, the Friday before on Crypto on the Rocks. And she finally got back to me, and guess what she said? Send it to Joe.
Really?
I swear to God.
Oh my
God. I got a process. Joe made out like a bandit on that show.
If y'all missed the show on Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, man, there was a lot of drawings, and I was literally like the biggest winner because everybody wants stuff. They're like, oh, give it a Joe, give it a Joe. So thank you guys. You guys are she was like, give it to Joe. And I'm like, okay, sure, no problem. Gold Miner James in the house. Appreciate you being here. Good morning to you, sir. And we're about to talk gold actually in a minute. But so I wanted to make it a surprise because I hadn't set that in motion yet. I'm really, really happy.
There you go. Happy. Well, wasn't that like the second thing you wanted? You wanted
Yes,
something, and then the
yes,
second thing was the cup.
yes.
So
Yeah.
you got your complete list of wishes that night, I think.
Well, maybe because tomorrow's my birthday, so maybe that's what precursor or well,
There
I
it
guess that's
is.
that.
There it is.
I got all my gifts, so that'll work.
I'll tell you the turnaround time for these for anybody who's interested. And if you go down into the description, go to CoinTree, and you'll see the link to go right to the store. Or if you're watching this on the replay, the link will be below the video. But turnaround time on this is about 10 days because they obviously make them as people order them. So, and different colors. I like
black.
That one. Yeah, the black is sleek, man. But there's like blue, there's a white, there's a couple of other colors. Yeah. So you got some options is the bottom line. So, but for you, Joe, I think, well, I'll give you the option, but I'm thinking you're going to probably want to do the black because you said you like that one. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'll make sure it's on its way to you. Matrix Money, Jar is in the house. Appreciate you being here, Jar. With Jar and I will be live tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern time for Matrix Money podcast. All right. So Gold Miner James is in the house. We're going to be talking gold right now because last week, big news in the gold front. And then we're going to be heading over to Joe's stream in like less than 10 minutes. So if you're on YouTube, all you got to do is sit tight. We're going to take you right over there. Even if my internet rugs me, I promise I'll get you there. Okay. Steve Hickey in the house. Appreciate you, Steve. All right, let's talk gold. So his history made in Missouri last week. And now, again, this was a post from Citizens for Sound Money. You guys know Daniel Diaz, executive director there, friend to this channel, constantly on here, giving us great information, sharing with us. Hell, he was the reason we gave away so much. Him and Allie were the reason we gave away so much gold on previous Crypto on the Rocks. But right here, basically, he got to go to the Capitol and watch the governor sign the Constitutional Money Act into law, making Missouri the first state to accept digital gold and silver for taxes. And right here it says, of the 11 states that have passed legal tender legislation, Missouri passed the best and most comprehensive sound money legislation in the country. And that is a quote from Daniel Diaz. And I love the fact that he's right here standing behind the governor while it's being signed with his hat on. You know it's him because of, boom, the hat. And I need something, Gold Miner James. That's the facts. But anyway, so yeah, that's that. I love it, man. I love it. I love the hat. And I love when he goes. He was wearing. I don't think it was that hat. It was a similar hat though. When I first met him, he likes sporting it, man. He likes sporting the hat. But I want to just break down real quick. Excuse me. Where is it? That's what I need. That's the link I need right there. What this law does. And this was an email that they sent out, Citizens for Sound Money sent out to break it down for everybody to show them what it does. So just to see if I can zoom in a little bit so everybody can read that. Hang on one second. I don't know. That's not working. Okay, sorry, guys. But basically, it requires the state to accept electronic gold and silver as legal tender. It then protects the right to enter into gold and silver private contracts. And I want to touch on that in a minute because Daniel talked about that on a recent podcast. Eliminates state capital gains tax on gold and silver starting January 1st. Allows employee compensation in precious metals by mutual agreement. So in other words, if you want your employer to pay you in gold and silver, boom, there it is. And includes a powerful anti-confiscation, anti-federal overreach, and anti-discrimination clauses. Okay, lots of good stuff there. But listen, the second point, Daniel was talking about, what did he just say? Need a CCM logo on that hat. That's right. He does. I'm gonna throw that out at him there. appreciate that. But anyway, on the previous live stream he was doing, he was talking about how most times when you're dealing with stuff that isn't legal tender, or clarified as legal tender, you don't have the same protections that you would with regard to if you do some kind of a barter. Well, they consider it a barter situation versus if you were using like US dollar per se. So, and he was talking about he had an issue where I think it was with regard to crypto though, but the same thing applies where it was like, okay, I'll pay you this, you do this. And he paid, but it didn't get done. And so he tried to get, charged, called PD, and basically PD said, how'd you pay? Oh, like that? Sorry, can't help you. Got to go civil. So Missouri prevents that from happening. The law, the way it's written, prevents that from happening. So that is huge, huge news. So good news on the gold front. That's what I got for today, Joe. Anything you want to throw out here before I know you got to go reboot that computer so you can do your own damn stream. And I appreciate that you got to do that every week. I really do.
Oh, yeah, it's all good, man. Yeah, but right now Bitcoin is coming down. But for more Bitcoin information, make sure to follow me on my channel. And we're going to be, of course, redirected there in just a few moments. And if you're on X, come on over to YouTube, smash the like, follow, all that good stuff, subscribe, and then you'll go to my channel. And what I love doing is I love giving the reality of trading. That's my biggest thing. I don't have all the empty hopes and dreams, empty promises. And there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are, I really love these guys because they tell you the same thing, where it's like, listen, we go up, we go down, take profits. Once you start feeling euphoria to where everything's euphoric and it's like, oh my gosh, you're just rushing to show everybody your portfolio, it's time to sell. It really is. And we have to be not with blinders on. Yep. If we're making money, don't think, oh, well, we're going to make more and more. No, like we have to take profit. And that's one thing that I was stressing a lot to my group yesterday and this morning. Like, okay, we went to this level, pretty good chance that we're going to retrace. What I want to see, though, as I mentioned earlier, what I want to see is how much the alts retrace, because this right here is going to be my indicator if the alts are strong. If not, then we just keep on trading them like we're trading them. But if they're strong, then in my opinion, now's the time to get in. But I'll go over more of that on my channel. So I do thank you guys very much. We'll see you there in a few moments. And of course, the bingos and the bangos. Thank you guys.
There you go. That's right.
See you soon.
Thanks, Joe. We'll see you in a few minutes.
All right.
And go mining stocks in the house from X. Appreciate you. And I'm sorry, Joe has to go ahead. I know you're just asking about that. I don't know if he's taking profits, but I know he's trading this like a beast right now. But if you jump over to his stream, even on X mining stocks, he is going live in less than 3 minutes. So we're gonna head over there. Appreciate you being here, by the way, and being over on X. All right, let me give you an update, hopefully before my internet rugs me. And again, if it does rug me, don't worry. Awesome. Appreciate that. Don't jump too high or too far. But anyway, if it does rug me, I'm still going to get you over there. If you are on YouTube, it'll automatically be redirected. But tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time, myself, Crypto Bedell, and BC Port Corp, we're going to be talking about the Bitcoin price action. We're going to be talking a little bit about Circle, and we're going to talk about the SEC. Crypto Mom basically saying that, tokenized securities are still securities. So we're going to touch on that as we do that tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time for HODL the Line. Tomorrow night, myself and Crypto Jar live for the Matrix Money podcast. You saw him here in the chat. We'll be live. We're going to obviously be talking. You can't not talk about the Bitcoin price action. And then I've asked Jar, please talk about his business that he's spun up called the Node Factory. I think it is great for people who don't have all kinds of money to be buying ASICs and or getting into node projects just straight out the cuff. So we're going to have him talk about that during that stream. And then Wednesday morning, again, 11 a.m. Eastern, Joe and I will be live. And we're going to be talking about, God knows, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And then, of course, Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, you know the drill. Crypto on the rocks. All right, that's going to do it for today. Thank you, everybody, for being here on X and on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, sit tight. You're going to be taken right over to Joe's stream. All right, thank you again, and I'll see you guys tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern.